Australian golfer Cameron Smith is 28 years old and already has several PGA victories to his name. He's presently rated 6th in the world, and during the upcoming competitions and years, he plans to go up in the rankings. But who is Cameron Smith? What is his lifestyle and net worth? Do watch to the end for answers to these and other questions you might have about Cameron Smith. Smith's early years. Smith started playing golf at the Wantima Country Club, a modest course in a Brisbane suburb, when he was 2 years old. While his father, Des, served as a club captain and a printer at the club, Sharon Smith, Smith's mother, worked at the neighborhood department store. Mel is Smith's sister. Cameron Smith added another 3 junior titles to his ever-growing list in 2011, with victories in the Australian Boys Amateur, the Australian Amateur Stroke Play, and the Victorian Junior Masters. This was only 5 years after he first won the Handa Junior Masters, an Australian junior golf competition that is no longer held. Professional career. Cameron Smith played on the PGA Tour of Australia after declaring himself to be a professional in 2013. He finished in second place in the 2015 Coca-Cola Queensland PGA Championship and the 2016 Emirates Australian Open. In order to play on the PGA Tour, Cameron Smith relocated to Jacksonville, Florida in 2014, and he still resides there now. He tied for 5th place in his maiden PGA Tour competition, the CIMB Classic in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Smith kept up his impressive play on the golfing world stage, finishing in the top 4 in the 2015 U.S. Open to earn automatic entry into the 2016 Masters. 2017. The Zurich Classic of New Orleans was won by Smith and Jonas Blixt in May, marking the first team tournament on the PGA Tour since 1981. The pair overcame Scott Brown and Kevin Kisner in a playoff and didn't make a bogey the whole event. It was Smith's first PGA Tour triumph overall. In 2017, he finished in the top 10 twice on the PGA Tour, sharing 6th at the Valero Texas Open and 7th at the Wyndham Championship. He also placed 46th in the FedEx Cup standings. In late 2017, he finished 3rd at the CJ Cup in South Korea and tied for 5th at the CIMB Classic in Malaysia to open the new PGA Tour season. Smith maintained his strong performance by placing 4th in the Emirates Australian Open and then triumphing over Jordan Zunic in a playoff to win the Australian PGA Championship the following week. 2018. Smith successfully defended his title in the Australian PGA Championship in December, defeating Mark Leishman by 2 shots. 2019. Smith participated in the 2019 President's Cup at the Royal Melbourne Golf Club in Australia in December as a member of the international squad. Team USA triumphed 16-14. Smith had a record of 1-1-1, including a victory over Justin Thomas in his Sunday singles match. 2020. Smith had his first individual success on the PGA Tour in January when he defeated Brendan Steele in a playoff to win the Sony Open in Hawaii. Smith was the first golfer in Masters history to play 4 rounds in the 60s when he tied for second place with Dustin Johnson at the 2020 Masters in November. He shot 67, 68, 69, 69. 2022 winners of the Open Championship. At the Kapalua Resort on the Hawaiian island of Maui, Smith won the 2022 Century Tournament of Champions in January. Smith defeated world number 1 Jon Rahm by 1 stroke thanks to a PGA Tour record-breaking 34 under par. The previous record, achieved by Ernie Els in 2003 at the same tournament, was 31 under par. 34 under par shattered that mark. Smith became the 7th Australian to win the Players' Championship at TPC Sawgrass in March. Despite hitting his second shot into the water on the last hole, Smith recovered to make a par and finish 1 stroke ahead of Anirban Lahiri. Smith earned his first major title in the 150th Open Championship, which was held at the Old Course at St. Andrews in July. He finished 1 shot ahead of Cameron Young and 2 shots ahead of joint third-round leader Rory McIlroy after shooting a final round 64 to recover from being 4 strokes off the lead. He battled a hip ailment during the FedEx Cup playoffs in August and was unable to participate in the BMW Championship, the second competition. He received the PGA Player of the Year honor at the conclusion of the PGA Tour season. Smith captured his 3rd 40-net Australian PGA Championship title in November. Cameron Young of America finished 1 stroke behind Smith in second place with a score of 20 under par. In addition, Cameron Smith's 20 under par performance in the Open title broke Tiger Woods' previous record of 19 under par from 2000. LIV Golf membership. Cameron Smith has finally declared he would love to play in the LIV Golf League after considerable speculation. On August 30th, Cameron Smith revealed his intention to leave the US PGA Tour, saying the money on offer was a consideration but not the main one. To join Live Golf, Cameron Smith entered into a contract worth 140 million Australian dollars. Smith continued, "Live's schedule is incredibly tempting, and that was my major motivation for joining the Saudi-sponsored golf league. I have more time to spend at home in Australia and perhaps even host an event there. Getting that aspect of my life back was quite enticing since I couldn't do it." In his first Live start in Boston, Smith tied for 4th place, with Dustin Johnson taking 1st place in the 3-man playoff. He triumphed in his second appearance, finishing on 13 under par with rounds of 66, 68, and 69 to win by 3 strokes over Dustin Johnson and Peter Uihlein, who had previously won. From his first 4 starts on Live Golf, Smith won more than $5 million. What is the net worth of Cameron Smith? The 2022 Open Championship was one of several victories on the PGA Tour for Australian golfer Cameron Smith. The 2022 Players' Championship was also won by him. His choice to quit the PGA Tour and play in the contentious Live Golf Series made headlines this year. He has since joined and is presently ranked 10th in the individual rankings after winning the Chicago edition. Smith allegedly has a $50 million net worth this year. He declared his departure from the PGA Tour in August of this year. He allegedly earned a $100 million salary in exchange for joining Live Golf, one of the biggest contracts ever signed by a player to play in the league supported by Saudi Arabia. Smith earns the majority of his money through sponsorship deals and monetary rewards, like the majority of professional athletes. Titleist, a manufacturer of golf equipment, and Original Penguin, a retailer of clothing, support Cameron Smith. In February of this year, the Original Penguin re-signed him. He discussed the collaboration. "I'm excited to continue my partnership with Original Penguin, as they have been a huge supporter of mine over the years." Smith also talked about the line produced by the brand. "I love the new looks they come up with every season, as they perfectly match my personality on and off the course. As an athlete, Original Penguin offers breathability, comfort, style, and protection from the elements, helping me to play my best golf." Will Cameron Smith participate in the Augusta Masters? After winning the 150th Open Championship in August of this year, Cameron Smith left the company and joined Live Golf. The contentious league that is ostensibly in competition with the PGA Tour has added several players. All Live Golf players are not permitted to compete in any PGA tournaments, according to the PGA Tour. The famed Masters competition held each year at Augusta National has not yet decided whether or not to allow Live Golf players to compete. Although Cameron Smith is happy with his choice to join the league supported by Saudi Arabia, his inability to compete in the Masters will be a terrible reality for him. The player's eligibility for the 4 major tournaments, including the Masters, will be examined in 2023. Smith has at least 5 years' worth of exemptions in the 3 American majors because he won the Open Championship. The Open Championship is also open to him until he is 60. Smith already holds a Masters invitation due to his status as the current Players' Champion and is tied for 3rd performance at the Masters last year. It would need a groundbreaking choice to prevent him from competing at Augusta National next year. Cameron Smith's girlfriend. Cameron Smith is presently dating Chanel Nahum, whom he met in Jacksonville, Florida, where he now resides. When Cameron won the Players' Championship in 2022, the couple was first shown together, suggesting that they had been dating since May of 2021. Cameron dated Jordan Ontiveros before Chanel. In 2016, a few years after Smith moved to Florida, the two people became together. Ontiveros is an avid golfer as well, and the two were frequently spotted practicing together. You've done a real great job making it to this point of the video. Can we have you drop your comments down below? Meanwhile, stay tuned for the next drop, and I'll see you there.